Um, that wasn't very PC, so I'm glad the recording didn't catch that. Uh,
No,
It's weird when
you
Mikey
just
gets
look
it.
Puerto Rican. That's all.
That's
That's
funny.
fine.
I'm not
That's
Puerto
so
Rican.
good.
I'm Mexican.
I know, but your hair would suggest
Oh,
otherwise.
do Puerto
Wait,
Ricans
are
have
you?
curly hair?
Yeah, have you seen my hair if I don't do it?
No, you don't let anybody see it.
No, of course not.
She's like
I
Dolly Parton. No
If
one
Lance had
knows.
actually,
hair, we would know, but
I think your brother kind of has hair like me. I think from what I've seen in
Oh,
pictures.
you've seen Steven's hair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steven's
it's kind of
got
curly.
very kinky hair. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he braids it.
Kinky.
I give him money to braid it on his birthday. So
Aw.
he loves it. I know.
Happy late birthday to AIDS hot brother Steven.
Oh, yeah, his birthday
Um,
was last month. That's true. He's 35, everybody.
ooh.
I
Is he
know.
taken now? Isn't that what you just told all of us?
He
Yeah,
does.
he has a
He's got a
girlfriend.
24-year-old girlfriend. So there you
Oh,
go.
Steven. Ah, no wonder
There
it
it
didn't
is.
work out.
Whew. All right, folks. Want to talk anything else beforehand? Nope. Let's get going. Hey, this is Slashers, and we're here for March Madness, which basically means we are here for serial killers slash slashing psychos, you name it. Anybody who has a mental disability. Let's not be too weird about it. Let's be PC-ish about it, because you know what? We're talking about people who like to kill other people because you know what? That's therapy for them, not us, for them.
Lance, why am I feeling this is your autobiography?
It could be not. Who knows? One day someone's going to do something and I will react. But until then, folks, welcome
I
to
want
Slashers
everyone to know that
Podcast.
he looked at me when he said that. So
Check out the YouTube, folks. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Either way, how you guys doing? This is my cohorts and lovely co-hosts, Mikey and Aid. Say hello.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Mikey.
hello.
That would be Aid, just in case anybody didn't
It's
notice.
Aid. Hey, Goons.
All
Yeah.
right, so I know Aid wants to talk about this, so we'll just get it right off the bat. So let's talk Oscars, because you know what? It happened. I am not much for the award shows. I like to watch the YouTube things afterwards, and I do love some of the nice, like funny things, with what is it, Conan O'Brien was this year, right, Aid?
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey. Mike, did you watch it at all? I know Aid did.
I caught clips. I saw some stuff. I didn't watch the whole thing, but you know how I feel about award shows.
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel you. I'm a little bit like the same way. So without any further ado,
A draw.
Aid, go ahead and give us all those juicy details.
Well, even if you don't like awards shows, you should be excited about this one because this is the Academy Awards. It's like the big thing every year. And horror took the fucking awards show by storm. And like, I don't like to watch them either. I'm not big on it because I'm like, I don't want to hear, especially now in our political climate, like everything is so sensitive. Like everything is just, ugh. And I'm just as angry as everybody else, but I'm just tired of talking about it. So, I don't want to see that on my Sunday night. However, the very first award given out was to Best Supporting Actress, and Amy Madigan, fucking Aunt Gladys, won.
Nice.
And so that was
Hmm.
like the precursor to my horror amazingness. That was last. I did fall asleep at one point. I woke back up and Michael G.
What?
I did, but I woke back up and Michael B. Jordan won for Best Actor. So I would say that Frankenstein and Sinners took obviously most of the awards with that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and what's her name who's pregnant shooting the gun. Um, what is that? Everything over everywhere, what all at once? What is that
No,
movie
that
called?
is what it's called. I think it's called The Last Battle or something, or
Yeah, the
no.
war. It's like the last war, or something like that. It's actually a true story
Anyways,
about a real person that Leo DiCaprio was actually emulating.
Oh,
Uh,
one battle after another.
right.
okay.
I knew it was going to win a bunch of awards because just the critic. I mean, of course, I didn't watch. I have no interest in seeing that movie. It's just not my kind of movie. But like all the critics, what they were all saying, I was like, yeah, this is probably going to sweep the Oscars. But I was surprised that so much horror won, and it was great. And we even had a little horror moment with our Sigourney Weaver, a callback to Aliens,
Oh
which
yeah.
Hmm.
was funny because it pissed off the wine moms at home, and people were like, you know, that's one of her signature lines, right? Like she didn't just call Kate Hudson a bitch for no reason.
Which is
I
so
know.
funny too, because it's like obviously there's no horror fans in that scenario, like when we were getting
Yeah,
mad.
Well,
yeah,
I know. And then she's sitting with Grogu, which is the best part about it. And
yeah,
I'm like, I would have said the same thing to Kate Hudson, like, don't you touch him, bitch. But yeah,
Mm,
or get away from him, bitch. Which that
yeah.
was so cute. And I love that Pedro Pascal was with her because they're also in um what, Mandalorian? Isn't she in
yeah,
Mandalorian
she's a
too?
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Well, a mustache less slash kind of goatee less
Because Leonardo
Pedro.
DiCaprio stole his mustache. Did we not notice that?
That was the meme.
Leo's
Well, there's
mustache.
there's some controversy now. Apparently, people are off the Pedro Pascal train, so whatever.
Oh.
But we're not here to talk about that. We also
Mm.
need to show some love to It Is Horror, I Don't Care. K-pop Demon Hunters taking home
Hmm.
Best Animation, and I didn't watch it, but
Mhm.
I'm assuming they took home Song
I
too.
think yeah, I think they did. I'm not even 100% sure, but they won
The best score was the Ludwig kid, and he's young. And
Sinners.
yeah, for Sinners, that guy,
Yeah.
and he's
Oh,
really
so they
hot,
won.
Mikey. He's got long hair, he's really cute. But
Well,
he's like super young. Hmm?
I don't mind them beating K-pop Demon Hunters, but hey, at least they won. Actually, no, Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters wins Oscar for Best Original Song. So not the
Yeah.
score, original song. Because I know that there was also a running, Sinners was in the running to that too, which I would have been happy with either one because both are great films. But someone made a good point that Golden can stand on its own if you hear it on the radio. The Sinners song, like, it's good, but you kind of have to listen to it in context of what you're watching.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
was like, because a lot of the times when I was guessing who was going to win, people would be like, what? Like, we have to look at the cultural impact of whatever this, because they look at that also. It's not just if it was a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, also
for
still
sure.
technically both horror to some degree, you
No,
know?
yeah, I agree. Like, K-pop Demon Hunters is obviously a movie for children, but it's essentially Buffy, and Buffy, they're it's horror for children.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
gateway. It's gateway horror, which I think
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
important. I think it's
yeah.
impactful. Golden is very like popular because I hear it on my boss's radio all the time now. And she listens to like what is it? The not 105.1, but the one with the anyways, doesn't matter. They play all the Christmas music, 107.7. And
Oh
I
God.
always hear it, like I hear it probably 3 times a day. So I'm just, used
And
to
that's
it.
fine.
And
Probably
they
not.
and they performed it, which I was really
Mhm.
excited for. So they
Yeah,
performed
they performed
it.
a shortened version of it.
It was very good still. And but to focus on Sinners, Sinners like took the I think that Sinners is so impactful too and so important that we discuss it like really quick for the Oscars because of not only the content, but the fact that like, you're coming from like Ryan Coogler, who was like coming from nothing, like basically, got his start what from Black Panther and everything, and knowing Michael B. Jordan, and now coming from this, and they have like pictures of them like winning awards from Black Panther, and they're both like babies, like barely any hair in their chest, like they were so young, and like now they're men and they've won Oscars, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Well, I mean, what's cool about the two is legitimately the fact that they're kind of like the new Scorsese and De Niro. You know what I mean,
Hmm.
of the film world in this generation, which is really cool because like they're two people, one director, one writer slash actor, maybe even slash directing to some degree, um, duo that because we get one of those every once in a weird generation where we get a couple people who join forces and do a lot of good movies.
Well, you have a lot of directors who work with the same actors, but I think that with Sinners, it was such a surprise for me because I thought it was going to be too mainstream and just meh. And then I watched it and I was
Mhm.
so
Oh
surprised at
yeah.
how beautiful, amazing, the music, the performance. And Mikey, I know you love the Asian woman in the movie. She was dancing on the stage. I don't know if you saw
Yes.
it
Love
last night.
her.
She's beautiful. I mean, it was just so like you felt it. And I just thought
Mhm.
that this is what horror can be, right? Like horror can just bring us all together and it'd still be scary, right? Because at the end of the day, like even while they were performing, the hot Irish guy came out with his teeth, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I know. And he wore
it
his
was
teeth the
cute.
whole night. Like it was so good. It was so good. And I just like it. Like this is what we need to have. And I'm so happy for it to have won so many awards. And Frankenstein as well for best makeup, best costumes. What else? It did cinema. Oh no, cinematography was Sinners, but like Frankenstein, I think took home like 4 awards, and it makes me sad that Jacob Elordi did not win for Best Supporting Actor because I'm like, why do we need Sean Penn to win something else? The
Yeah,
motherfucker couldn't
like
even show up to claim his award because he thinks he's so goddamn special.
I
No,
know.
Sean Penn, you're just an angry old man. Shut the fuck up. Like we don't. We're tired. We're
Rory
tired.
Culkin was even like he couldn't make it or he just didn't want to.
No,
Like,
Karen.
damn,
Oh, it was Karen, not
here, one of
Rory.
them,
But Karen,
one of the
he's like,
Culkins.
actually, he didn't want to be here. So, or like, he
Yeah,
literally like just said, oh, he didn't want to be here. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, if you don't even want to be here, like, don't even give him the fucking, like, he doesn't care. So give it to somebody who sat for 400 hours in makeup, whose face is on my leg. Everybody, just kidding.
yeah.
Anyways, I'm not kidding about that, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you talking? You're not kidding at
I
all.
know.
Well,
But anyways, oh, special nod to the
Hmm.
Ugly Stepsister because it was also nominated for makeup and special effects. So did
nice.
not
Yeah,
win because Frankenstein won that, but I think that it's important that we note that a an independent film from like the middle of fucking nowhere actually got something based on a Cinderella horror film. So kudos to
yeah.
you.
I did like the part where they when Conan did call out the whole British thing, and then British people were basically, like, or his joke was that, Wheelies put our pedophiles in prison. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a funny
Oh, the
little nod.
British. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the first year, I guess, neither female or male, actor was nominated. So I guess that was a big thing. But either though, any new movies you guys have watched outside of the Oscars? Anything new coming popping off? Anybody? Mikey, Aid?
Mm, I saw Undertone.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
you liked that, Mikey. I saw your thing for it.
I did. It was very creepy. Um, I feel like it's gonna be polarizing because, with horror, we're trying to figure out new ways of experiencing horror.
Mm,
And it's not like a spoiler that it tells you that this is very audio centric. And I think also and you'll all probably feel the same way, connect to it more because it's about a podcaster. And like everything happens to her basically while she's in her house podcasting with her friend who lives in a different country. And like they're listening to tapes and like all the horror I mean, yeah, like stuff happens to her in the house too, but like most of the horror stuff happens with the audio. And it was just really good and it was really creepy. Um, yeah, I don't want to say much because I don't think I could really ruin anything. It's just a good movie. But yeah, watch it. I definitely give it like a strong 4 stars.
nice. Nice. I'm
Wait,
excited.
it reminded me when you were saying that, it reminds me of like how people felt about Skinamarink, right?
I was just
Because
about to say I've heard people say that it gives very Skinamarink vibes. So like if Skinamarink had a narrative, it would be like this. Um, yeah, it's good.
yeah.
Nice.
And Skinamarink scared the shit out of me. I'm not watching it again. It scared me. But you have to be, I think you have to feel that nostalgia with that movie. And
Yeah.
so I think with the whole audio thing too, we'll be able to relate to that because that's something that we do, right? Like even though we edit the episodes, or Mikey and I do, producer Mike and I do.
Mm-hmm. Ike
Um,
and Ike.
I don't listen back for like spooky things. Like usually it's Lance opening a bag of chips or something, or
Hmm.
Mikey clearing his throat. So those are the sounds that I hear. Like it's nothing scary.
Or Stella barking.
We're still barking.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that those
Or
are my
How
noises. Yeah,
convenient to leave that part out.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Random Danisms in the background.
Stella, listen, Stella had surgery, so
Oh,
Hmm.
she's gonna
poor
get away
baby.
with everything for a while. So,
Have you
anyways,
seen anything there, Aid? Anything new?
nope. So I guess we can move on to the
Well,
main feature of today.
maybe, but I did see finally I saw Cold Storage.
Mm. How
Mm.
was that?
Yeah. Man, I wanted it to be so much better, and it got confusing in the sense of trying to be kind of serious, like too serious, but yet trying to be comical, and I don't think they ever really figured it out, and it was like trying to be like a comical kind of comedy slash what was going on, but like with the whole parasites, and it never felt right. Like it sucks. I really wanted it to do well, and I mean it wasn't horrible, but it definitely wasn't good. So
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. Remember that movie Evolution? I've never seen it, but I've never seen
yeah.
the whole story. But
I love
that's what it reminds me.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Don't
more
learn
funnier
that.
and had more like funny like things going on. You know what I mean? Like it seemed more of a comedy. Like it at least picked what it wanted, kind of to some degree.
Oh yeah.
Where this was trying to be a little
Jump back and
too
forth.
espionage-y, kind of like serious about what they need to do and how dangerous it is, because it's I don't want to ruin it for anybody if anybody watching, but there's definitely it got too serious to some part of it, and it wasn't funny enough to outbreak them trying to be serious here and there. So I
Gotcha.
watch it. It's not a bad thing, but I would definitely I wouldn't go to the theater to see it. That's for sure. But I sure did not. But either or, said not any more into that. But let's talk about the movie of the night for this sweet episode of March Madness, and we're talking about Midnight.
Ooh.
Yes. This film was slated to release in 2020, but of course, as everybody knows in the world, everywhere, the pandemic happened, and it got pushed back because of COVID-19 and the pandemic, and it got pushed. I think it says 2021, but it also says 2022. So I'm assuming it kind of like had that back and forth of being released, because I mean obviously it was like during that time frame. If it did get released in theater, it didn't stay long, just because everybody kind of knew, or if at all it went right to streaming. But I don't know if they had those kind of things like going right to Shudder maybe, or had those kind of outlets. So I think it was released in opening weekend was June 30th of 2021 supposedly, even though it was like a year later. Let's see. The budget, it doesn't really quite say. It says it M, so I'm assuming maybe it was $1 million for it. I think that's kind of crazy.
Okay, the M means I didn't find how much they paid for it.
Oh, okay. So I'm going by AIDS notes here, folks. So I didn't know if the M just meant it was $1 million by itself, but
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good guess, honestly, Lance. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, you know what? Let's take the M out so we're not confusing Lancy Pants tonight.
Really, she's like doing
You'd
it like
think there'd be like a question mark or something, or
Yeah.
an A or something.
I couldn't find anything on this movie. This is the first frustrating thing I have. So
Oh, my
continue, Lance,
Uh-oh.
please.
Okay. So either or, has Aid literally changed that while we're talking. Like I'm like watching my phone, it goes boop boop boop, gone.
I know, isn't that amazing what technology can do?
Yeah, I know.
I know.
But yeah, I guess even though it's limited outtake, it still made like 800,000. So I mean, not bad for like it looked like it didn't really spend that much time. Running time for this is 103. Let's see, it was directed by Kawan
Let's hear it.
Osong. I don't even know if I said that right. But yeah, no, this movie is kind of like about it's about a deaf woman dealing with a deaf,
No.
a hearing impaired woman. Is that better?
Deaf.
There you go.
Deaf with an F is
Yeah,
what she's trying to say.
Deaf.
And her mom.
And her mom, both being hearing impaired. And basically, she runs into a situation where she sees a woman who needs help and realizes that this person that needs help is being either kidnapped or in the process of being kidnapped. And basically, she has a situation where she has to fight her impairment to like deal with that, plus trying to express to other people around her that this person is trying to either A, kill her, or is trying to kill somebody else. You have a brother who is out there looking for his sister, and basically it's just all that in one night. So that's basically the sum of this whole movie for all purposes. What did you guys think about the way they portrayed her
Impairment.
well, yeah, that, I mean, but just I thought, just as a thing, I thought it was really good the way they kind of made it where like it shows how difficult it would be to be in that position, in her position. But I mean, what did you guys think?
I thought it was good. They incorporate the like I don't know if these things are real, but I'm assuming they're real. Like I know the house one is real, like the flickering lights for noises, and then I haven't seen the one that's in the car, but I'm assuming they have something similar, which it would make
Oh,
sense.
the meteor.
Yeah, the meter. So it was really cool to see those things being incorporated. It also kind of like demonstrated the horror film of just having a hearing impairment and being in everyday life when the mom almost gets ran over. Like that's so scary. And even when she has to run, like, do you know how scary it is to run and not being able to hear what's running after you? Like, I don't know how far he is, but I'm gonna keep running.
In a
That
city,
was like my thing, is I was like, oh, you can't even hear his footsteps.
like that one scene where like she was trying to open the door, but she doesn't realize it's squeaking every time she's pulling on the lever.
Oh,
Like,
I
and
know.
he's like, this chick, she's right over here, you know.
Yeah. No, I definitely thought it was good, and it was I didn't look and see if the actors were actually hearing impaired, because sometimes they'll use actors that
Yeah.
do have, like Bring Her Back, where they really use the visually impaired actress, even though it's her
Hmm.
first role. Um, it doesn't surprise me if they don't, though. Like the American version of this is Hush, and we had I hope I don't say the wrong one. I always say the wrong one. Kate Siegel or Katie Siegel,
Katie Siegel.
not
Kate
the
Siegel.
Married with
Kate Siegel,
Children
yes.
one. Yeah, not the Married with Children one. We had
Not
her
Katie
play.
Seagal, Kate Siegel. Yes.
Yeah, so we had her, and she's not hearing impaired, but she still did great. So it just adds a whole nother level of terror to the suspense.
Yeah. 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 Hey, what'd you
Mm.
think off the top?
No, I thought it was really I think they did a really good job setting up at how her life is from day to day, right? Because she really can't communicate with people. And I don't know how South Korea is. Is it South Korea? South
Hmm.
Korea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how um I don't want to say accessible they are, because I mean you could say that America is more accessible to an extent about, impairments or whatever. I really don't think that's the case. I think we like to pretend we are, but uh, but like I feel like if that's the case, people are just not used to people who are deaf, and the way that they're being treated is kind of shitty, like she has to kind of deal
Mhm.
with everything, and she's poking fun at things, right? Like she knows she can go to this dinner with these executives at the beginning, right? And she's like saying all these heinous things to them in sign language that they have no idea what they're saying, but she can just get away with it because that's how ignorant people are, right? They've chosen not to like figure out anything that she says. The only way they can communicate with her is if she writes it down or puts it on a phone.
Yeah.
Did you like that part because of the empowering part of it? Because she definitely took the power back from them because they were being shitty with her, like, saying really fucking gross shit. And she kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it was one of those parts where I assumed, like, you
Well,
would be like, oh my God.
I feel like she can lip read too, so I don't think
Yeah.
that she's
She
not.
can.
And a lot of people confuse, especially with deaf people for some reason. Like blind people, not so much, but people who are deaf, I think people like kind of assume they're dumb. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I always think back on the chick from that was on Seinfeld who could read lips.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah. Yeah.
she's really deaf, and she was actually at the sunlight or the candlelight vigil or the candlelight procession at Epcot. She hosted it that night when my kids were in it at Epcot, which I was really excited because I'm like, oh my God, I know her. And she, she's so articulate, whatever. Like you would never know she was deaf. Like you can't even tell because the way that she speaks, you can't, because most of the time when deaf people are speaking, you can tell that they're deaf,
Yeah.
because they can't hear. So, I mean, a lot of people who've lost their hearing knew or had their hearing first. So maybe that's how they're able. I know it's very interesting how people treat deaf people versus blind people. You know what I mean? And I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like, I don't know why that is. Like why people assume people who can't hear are
Yeah.
like automatically just dumb. Because that's how they
I
treat
don't
her,
know. But
right? I don't know.
yeah, and I have a deaf friend also, and he can read lips, but just like this, I think they were incorporating it with this character as well. They can read lips, but like it's very easy for them to not be able to read lips if you're talking too fast, or like we don't realize how often we either like cover our
Mhm.
mouths like this, or like if you look away when you're talking, and you'd
Right.
be like, oh shit, like he can't see me if I'm doing that. Um, but I do think this movie was, and I don't know if it's maybe cultural or if they just emphasized it for dramatic effect, but I feel like there's cases here where we'd be a little more sympathetic or a little more, we would try to understand what was happening rather than in this movie, they were just kind of like, whatever, weirdo.
Yeah, it's a lot of bumbling. It was like a lot of like, the bumbling idiot cop chases and things like that.
Oh,
You
yeah, the cops
saw
are useless.
yeah, like I and I feel like this is a recurring theme of all of the Korean films that we've done where they're always trying to be funny. It's like a Marvel movie. Like every other line has to be funny, right? And I don't know why that is because I feel like it takes away from the horror. Like it can be funny like a little bit, but like all of the time because even when she's making that noise, like I kind of felt there was humor there.
Yes, I do feel like there was like lightheartedness. Because even sometimes I was like, is this a thriller or is this actually like horror? At the end of the day, I do think it's horror, but I think it's because they were trying to balance it out. Because like Scream, for example, Scream is a really good example of the original ones of having truly scary stuff, but like throwing in effective comedy. But it's kind of hard to balance that in a way that where they're not overshadowing each other.
Yeah, I mean the effectiveness of most cops, I think people just in general think that they don't really do anything, which is why I was saying was the idea that like I didn't know in Korea or maybe even in certain countries where they have those maybe in dark alleys or areas that are more seedy those lights because they hit that little button
Oh,
and it
and
would
there's the
almost
camera, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
and it reminded me.
We have those in San Antonio. I just don't know what happens when you hit them because I've never done it.
Oh yeah, yeah, because
But
it reminded me of college, like you know how they have those for women for like
yeah,
if they're in jeopardy and the light flashes and like
just for
so when I
women.
saw it, I was like, holy shit, like that's crazy. That's like I
It's
see what
only
you
for
did there.
women, yeah.
I know, like, it's not just for women. Everybody gets in trouble. Man. It's
Well,
like,
no, no,
sir,
no,
do it,
yeah,
man. I don't care who's chasing you. Better not touch that button.
Yeah,
Better turn
no,
around, and fight that thing.
but like it seemed like it was one of those things where like well, I because
But somebody was able to talk to her though, which I thought was interesting because I feel like a lot of those things like doesn't connect to anybody. It just
yeah,
makes does it connect to people? I don't know because we have them. Lance is correct. We had them at UCF after that bunch of girls kept getting assaulted on campus from random, scrubs at night. So never had a chance. Nobody's coming after me. I'm too loud. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I can only imagine.
I know.
like I will fucking die screaming and beating your ass before I let you do anything to me.
Eating their ass. Jeez, Aiden.
No wonder they're running.
Mikey. But
So
is somebody supposed to be like because I thought, oh my God, that's amazing. Like I'm like, this is so progressive. Like they have like cameras and like people could see and the cops can talk to you. I mean, even though they couldn't hear.
Yeah.
But
but that again it added another element to this movie where the unfortunateness of that
their
disability.
impairment, yeah,
Yeah, where it, like
took
it's
away.
like even when you felt like you could be safe, you're still technically, you know what I mean? Like, so I thought with this movie and this guy, the guy who plays the killer, I think he's also in Squid Games if I'm not mistaken.
He's the
The
Yeah. He,
actual
cop in Squid Game. And I'm like, I know him. He's the cop
yeah,
in Squid Game. And I love
yeah.
him in Squid Game.
Also,
but
apparently, the police officer number three is from Squid Games.
as well.
His name is Park. I forgot his last. I don't remember if that's first name or his last name, but it's something Park because someone made a comment about him.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but yeah. If I could rewind,
Yeah.
yes.
Please.
What I and just so because also we might want to catch our audience up because I've never even heard of this movie, and I was surprised that it was a movie because I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what Lance is talking about.
Yeah.
But what I really enjoyed, because we have some movies that do it, and I don't think they do it well, but what this movie did really well is you kind of have four different characters, and they're all likable. You have the main girl. I don't actually think I know any other names. But they're the main girl
Yeah,
who,
I can't keep up with Korean names. I'm
yeah.
so sorry.
Um,
There's two names and it's a dash and something.
oh
So
yeah. Yeah, so the main girl who is our final girl who is of she's with her mother
Mm.
and the mother's just like old and they're both deaf. Which I don't
Jin
this might
Kijo.
this might be naive of me, but I was like, does that happen a lot? Because I know hearing impairments traditionally are not hereditary. It's just something that happens.
Right.
But I could be wrong. I'm not a scientist. And so in my head, I was like, a deaf mother having a deaf daughter. Unless maybe there's a condition I don't know about that it transfers hereditarily. But there is them, and then you have, which I thought the relationship was kind of weird at first, but it grew on me. An adult brother, and an adult sister living together, and he's very protective.
It was weird. That was
Yeah.
weird.
I don't like it. I just like we've talked before. I don't like the whole overprotective dad. Like I'll be waiting for your boyfriend with the shotgun. No, we have a brother who she wasn't even wearing anything bad. He's like, you better go back inside and change. She's on her way to a blind date, and she's like, please, and he's like, no, and you have to be home by 9. And I was like, I don't know, maybe the Korean culture is different, but like that whole like machismo thing, it's a turn off. But then he kind of like gets more lighthearted and keep in mind, guys, this movie has beautiful people in it. The main girl, the sister, beautiful women.
Mm.
The brother, and by God, that serial killer, both of them can get it at the same time. Um, but I was like, damn, this is like the hottest cast I've seen from a Korean film. Um, but I liked all of them. The brother sister thing the sister I liked from the beginning because she was
Well,
just
yeah,
cute.
I loved her.
Yeah.
She was my favorite.
And then and it was funny because she said because he talks about her shorts being too short, and I'm like, bitch, you're wearing like ranger panties.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
he
she was
even
like,
calls
what
him out
about
on
you
it.
and your marine shorts? And I was like, oh, she told him. But I also wasn't sure if he actually because he seemed like he was military. Actually, I think they're all military, aren't they?
I was didn't know because he was in a car and it looked like he was in a cop car himself at
I
one
thought he
point.
was a cop, and then I was reading later that he's a security guard. So I'm like,
Mm.
motherfucker, you're talking all this shit and you're just a security guard. You're Paul Blart
Oh
running
my
around
God.
in
With
a golf
military
cart.
background. So
Oh, is he military?
yeah, that's
So
why
that's
she
what we're
said
trying
that.
to figure out, and I'm trying to see. So Korea is a place where it's mandatory military service for
Oh,
all
Yeah.
able-bodied male citizens. So yeah, he would every man in that movie, if they've lived in Korea their whole life, they would have to join the military.
but that doesn't mean that they're military, right? Like
You still have
you
to
know.
learn things. Like you
Well,
still
Well,
you
have to
have
yeah,
to
but
fight.
you have to join the military.
Yeah.
I know you're military, but that doesn't mean you have the mindset of a military
Oh
person. Like
yeah,
you're just
and
made to do it. So,
maybe it's like because, and again, this could have been an issue with translation because I was reading the subtitles when she said Marine Shorts, that what she called him. I was like, oh, maybe like you have to join the military, but like if you want a career, you do something specific like Marines. I don't know. This is me just
but they
guessing.
don't have Marines do that. They don't, that's not a thing
Well, they
there.
have a navy of some sort, I'm sure, or
Well,
I mean
They
they
Marine
are.
have
is not the
no, they have
Navy.
Army, Marine Corps, they have Navy, and they have Air Force.
Mm.
In Korea?
That's what I'm looking at here. Yeah, why wouldn't they?
But what's the difference? Oh my God, Joe's gonna kill me. But what's the difference
Joe, stop
between a
listening.
Marine
Joe,
and
turn it
a,
off.
I know, Joe, shush.
This is where you turn it
The
off,
fact
bud.
that he like it would be screaming in the background, so I know the difference.
So basically, the Marines are where
What do
everyone
they
from the
do?
Army goes that's gay. But
Ah, Mikey.
And now we've
Because don't they
lost
have like a different they have
Joe.
a different uniform, but what do they do? I mean, I know there's an answer to this.
I mean,
Jesus.
obviously, so Marine is hard because Navy obviously is the ships, the submarines.
And then
Air
Air
Force is
Force is
obviously flying shit.
planes.
Army is on the ground. Marine, this might just be a stereotype, but I've always heard Marines are the ones that are trained to like really fuck people up. Um,
Yeah,
Oh, they do
basically
the
what it is.
they do the hoo-ah. What do they do?
Oh my god.
Is that a thing?
well,
So
not in
No.
the porns that I watch, but
it's like having special forces. Is basically the Marines are like they do everything else. They do what needs to be done.
the
They're the ones
Marines
that
are
are like
amphibians.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so
Um,
I Googled it. The Army's specialty is sustained ground operations and large-scale warfare. Meanwhile, the United States Marines are specialists in expeditionary operations and rapid responses. That
hang on, let me
really
go.
told me nothing.
Yeah.
Which military branch has
Oh, it does
the
say they're amphibious, Mikey.
gay men?
Yeah,
I
well that's
don't
where
know.
the Navy SEALs
I
come
thought
from.
the Navy is gay.
There is an answer.
Wow.
No,
There
but like,
actually is an
isn't that
answer.
in the Village People? The guys, isn't that like
Oh my gosh.
implied?
You okay, let's move on
What?
before
Wait,
we offend anybody who's in this service.
AIDS onto something.
She knows something
Because they're all
great.
Based
on
on
a
the
boat.
2015 RAND
Oh my
corporate
god.
study, the U.S. Navy has a significant larger
I
percentage
told you
of
they're all
men who
men
identify as
stuck
gay.
on a boat.
What's
I
next?
mean, what else are you gonna
A-
do?
A's gonna be like, they're seamen, get it?
Lance,
No,
we're
I
not
didn't say
Come
that.
dumb.
You said
on.
that, Lance. So
No,
that was
you're about
something
like a
he
half
Lance,
second
that was
away
something
from saying
Lance
this.
wanted to say, and he's trying to blame it on me, and
Oh,
he's the
yeah,
one who
that's
said it.
exactly.
Okay.
Either way, let's move on, folks.
None of us
So,
are military, everybody.
yes.
So we
but
don't
I've
know
definitely serviced a
anything.
lot of them when I lived in San Diego. Go ahead.
The Navy town, by the way,
I've
folks.
dated a
Navy
lot of
and Marine.
military guys,
Uh,
but that doesn't mean
Navy.
anything.
oh my god. Well, now that we've noticed
Aid and
that
I did our part for the country.
We did.
Mikey
We
and Aid
held
have
this country
serviced all the
together.
men.
Yeah.
Um
Navy, Air Force, and Army.
Oh
I don't think I've
god.
ever dated a Marine though. So
Sometimes at the
there's that.
same time.
Oh my
You
god.
don't date Marines, you just fuck Marines.
So
Not
There you
you, but
go.
in general.
to get back to it, how did you feel our psychotic serial killer did you I mean there was points where like he did kind of like fake outs to people to fool them knowing that he had full ability to just say whatever he wanted to say and they couldn't do anything about it. Like I thought that was really done well in a very sadistic kind of fucked up way.
Can you say that again?
Okay. So
What I'm
his reactions, basically what Lance is trying to say, because I have to interpret for Lance
oh
now,
my god,
is
literally about to
that
say what I said.
the serial killer could have made his situation much easier so many other times and he chose not to. And I think it's because it is a cat and mouse game, right? He wants
Yeah.
the chase. He doesn't want somebody interfering with what he's about to do. That's part of the reason he is so sadistic, is that he picks people at random. As long as they're alone, he'll just be out and about, living his best life in his van, and he just picks somebody who just happens to be there. And initially he picks the mother because and so this is what got me. So there's a lot of parts of this movie that I just like make no sense whatsoever. Like she goes to park the car and she drops her mom off outside. Why can't you guys just go park the car together and walk out together? Like why are your mom is deaf? Why are we doing this? So there like again, there's a
Well,
lot
but she's old.
and is there, well, true, but is there a lot of like, and I don't really, and like I said, I just don't understand the culture and I need to know more about this culture because I think South Korea puts out a lot of good shit. And are there like places in these cities that are that secluded and that empty that people are just walking alone at night and there's like all these buildings around you, but nobody's there? Like are you that alone? Like, I
Well,
don't
they're in
know.
a pretty big city though, so like I mean like especially when later on when he pulls those moments in like
In
the big
public.
crowded area public areas because these poor both of them, the mother and the daughter, literally like even though they know the thing, like he literally says to them, yeah, I'm the one that did it. At one point he just doesn't even care about the ruse anymore, with them at least anyways.
No, but he knows they can't tell on him.
Yeah, but I mean like that, I mean like this movie honestly, now again folks, I am a big person on, I love my gore, I love slasher type movies, and yes, this is probably
None.
teetering way
No
more
gore.
on the
No.
on the thriller type deal. But because we are doing March Madness and it's more about psychotic serial killers and of that kind of
This was a Lifetime original we can
oh my
watch on
god. See,
Snapped.
Now you're just trying to make it sound, but it was good in that sense of that, like as a serial killer and someone taking advantage of somebody's disability and just toying with them like a true psychotic serial killer would do, but in public, which is makes it even more crazy. I mean, like all the cops were on the side, which is another thing too. Is as women, both of them, they were almost belittled in that sense. I mean, how do you feel about that though, Aiden and Mikey? Like, I mean,
It's also another thing with the culture. Like, I also don't. This is gonna sound shady, but I don't know
Mikey's
how.
answering while his cleavage is showing everybody.
Shut up. Watch the YouTube video. um, but I just got back from the gym. Be quiet. Um,
Ah.
I don't know the role women play in society in South Korea. The only insight I have to South Korea is K-pop Demon Hunters, but
and they're
um,
fierce.
I,
They always
but I
fight.
feel like in K-pop Demon Hunters, the women like are very empowered, and I feel like in the movies that we watch, they're not so much. So I don't know.
yeah, because also like we see in the beginning that and this was a soup in America. We heard about this happening many years ago, but not so much anymore. Where they take the female employees to go entertain customers. They're high-paying customers, like they're sex workers, and they're
Yeah,
not. They were in customer service. They would just take the pretty girls to be like, "Hey, they're coming. The customers are coming," and they're like, "We don't want to do it," but they make them do it. Like that's super fucked up. But again, I don't know if this is just the filmmaker making a environment specific for their movie that doesn't actually reflect Korean culture, or if that's actually how it is.
yeah.
That's true. Well, if any of you out there listening know the answer to this question, which I guess we could have done research for it, but I feel like how do you ask the question? Does South Korea
Do they
subject
respect women?
women to
Yeah.
these things?
Chat GTP. Come on.
I know. And this is I think it's important that we watch, different cultures, especially because I know Indonesia right now is really prolific in the horror genre and they're really getting into it. And I honestly feel like a lot of these foreign films do reflect some of it, just like our horror films reflect our culture. Like, for example, and I always use Hostel as the example because it is so overt. Hostel is like basically the bro culture of the early 2000s. Like, that is American. Those are American boys right there. Like, that's how they fucking behaved. And
Mm,
it's not a hyperbole when I say this. And so I think that obviously it is a reflection of their culture. How much of it is a reflection, how much is it serves the movie, like Mikey said, I don't know. And like, you've seen Train to Busan, isn't that South Korean?
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't feel like that. And that movie, first of all, that movie made me cry my eyes out. I'm never watching it again. But like, I don't feel like that was a subjective movie. Like, he did all that for his daughter, a father for his daughter. And I feel like, especially when you grow up in America, you always hear these stories about how women are disregarded, especially I think in Chinese culture, where do you remember like growing up where they would say that they would rather just give up their daughters until they had a
Oh,
son?
I mean, there's the whole
And that's why
not
there's so many
making
men
jokes.
there. I don't know if that's true, but that's
I
how
mean, that
we
could be why they don't have a father there. I
Well,
mean,
I
I don't
I
know.
think that relates also to they have a limit of how many kids you can have, and it's one. And
Mm,
Mhm.
the messaging, I don't know if it's true or false, is most people wanted a boy, so they would abort the girls. This is all hearsay. This is just
Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but this is
yeah.
what we are told about other cultures. And this is like a normal thing because if Mikey hears it, Mikey grew up in Texas. I grew up in New York.
Hmm.
Lance is Lance. And
everywhere.
Boston apparently sometimes. Who knows?
sometimes
Spain, France.
Boston,
Yeah, he's a man of the
sometimes,
world.
yeah,
Oh my god.
man
Anyways,
of
what did you guys feel the part where the serial killer puts the brother in that one situation where he finally catches up to him? He's whooped his ass in the thing, and the cops are the reason he stops. So where the cops make the ill decision because the serial killer was so good at fooling even the cops at one point. So at one point the cops were fooled and they even have him in custody at one point, but because they can't hear anything and they get away. There's a lot of moments like this in this movie that are like this. And then there's a moment where the brother catches up to the serial killer and the main girl. And then he says, I could tell you where your sister is. And he puts him in that situation and you can see the look in her face where he's like, that moment, like what would you guys do in that situation? Like if it was your sibling and it was between going to find her to see if they're not dead or not, like
Well,
I don't know how I would feel about that.
this is the biggest loophole in the movie. He
Mm.
sent him the location before he even agrees to anything. He's like, "Go find your sister." I would have been like, "Okay, well, thanks for the address. I'm gonna go ahead and kick your ass now, and then I'll go
Yeah,
find it."
you would think.
But a lot of the things, and this is where the problems with this movie is, I feel like a lot of the decisions that the characters make are so ridiculous in order to drive the plot further.
Right.
Yeah,
This movie would have benefited for being a short, plain and simple. We don't need all of this extra fluff in here, but we have it because we want to keep the movie
Right.
at a length that we don't necessarily need. Where and I'm comparing it with Hush because Hush also with a deaf character, there were she's pretty much isolated.
yeah, she's by herself.
So she's by herself and she can't hear shit. And this guy is fucking with her, has killed her neighbor, killed the neighbor's husband, done all these things. When I talk about like, I think that in itself is, I think, is a little bit more terrifying because she literally has no help. Whereas here, get a fucking pen and a pad and tell somebody this guy is killing us. Please do
What's she supposed to do
something.
with a sanitary napkin? Why can't she
Like,
just use a paper?
yeah, the guy from Squid Game won't stop. Please help.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Um,
you
But
can't find a fucking
the question
pen.
still remains: what would you do in that situation, though?
yeah,
I
What
don't
would
know. I'm not deaf.
no, wait, never mind. So
the brother I'm
I
talking
actually
about?
disagree with Aid. I think this
That's
is
fine.
worthy of a feature because it's inevitable we're going to compare it to Hush because the content is so similar. But Hush was legit scary. Did I tell you about when I saw Hush? It was the first time
You
my
take your
man left me by
pants.
myself at home. No, I was with child. Olivia was the baby, and we lived by ourselves with Adam. And this was the first time Adam went out of town. And I was like, I want to watch a scary movie, but nothing too scary because I'm by myself. And I was like, oh, Hush, it's a serial killer. I'm sure I'll be bitch. I was terrified that night.
Oh my god,
Like that.
because it's so dark outside and like oh my god, that is horrifying. I watched it by
Yeah.
myself too, Mikey. So I was not with child. I was with my
um,
cat, but there you go.
yeah. Um, but what Midnight, which is did we even talk about the title? Midnight is the
Yes.
we're doing.
Yes.
I
Um,
hope Glenn said the title
I
has
said it
it.
many of times.
we'll
Okay.
figure it out in post.
Uh-huh.
But what Midnight does that's different is it's more suspenseful, but a lot of the terror for me, anyways, comes from I liked the characters. I didn't want anything to happen to them. Every time the
Mm.
mom was about to die, I was like, "Do not touch that woman." I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't
Don't
want the
take
mother to die. I didn't
Mamacita.
want the
Yeah.
sister to die. Um, and the point you're talking about, where he's like, "I'll give you your sister if you let me have her," and maybe it's because he's so scared he's not thinking straight. He essentially agrees and leaves
Yeah.
the poor girl there to fend for herself. But you have that, and maybe this is social commentary on women versus men. You have that, but then you have that same girl later on sacrificing herself for his sister.
Yeah. She
And
did more than once.
yeah, and like, you know, she has put the needs of others before her many times, even though she's a hearing impaired person and needs help. Like she's
Yeah.
like, and even whenever she volunteers to go to that dinner with the clients, of course, because she knows her other coworkers don't want to do it. And so, you know, she's
Mm.
just a good person. And this movie would not have been successful, in my opinion, if the characters weren't likable. And I thought they were.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
and are you leaving the poor girl there by herself? Or you actually?
No, I mean, I understand the selfless act because I know you all think I'm horrible, but I
Your words, not us.
I always worry about what would happen. And so I get it. I just think a lot of the movie was very frustrating to me and a lot of it could have been solved. I think if it was thought through a little bit more, we could have had more effective, scarier film because I was not that scared. I was scared at the beginning of the chase in the garage, and then when they got to the police station, that's where they lost me. I'm like,
Mm.
And the brother, and I know you think that that's where I disagree with Mikey. I know you like all the characters, but the brother was an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. And I'm
Well, he
like,
was all
ugh,
muscle, no brains. I can identify him.
uh, I just, I don't know. And then nobody died.
I mean,
I
the
know.
girl died
Ex-
initially in the very beginning, the one random
Except
girl.
for the poor chick, just trying to go see her shitty boyfriend.
Yeah.
In
And
the
then
very
somebody
beginning.
stole her cab, right?
Uh,
Why is she gonna die? And then whatever guy was in the van that he killed before that, but and I think it's interesting because that was the only man that he went after, right?
Yeah. And I
Hmm.
don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but I noticed that a lot of, because we were talking about these moral dilemmas, a lot of the situations that characters are put in are a reflection of their character
mm.
or their like moral compass, where like he originally attracts you by you helping someone else. And he's even said, I think, because the first girl, she could hear the van open and she could hear someone asking for help. And it was the guy that was like fucked up in the back. And so she goes to help him. That's how she gets attacked. And then with our main character, she goes because the sister was taken. And
Well, she threw the shoe.
yeah, she threw the shoe out. And he
The
was even like,
shoe.
if you touch that shoe, I'm coming after you. And so
Yeah.
she didn't know this, but by her going over there, it's like what sealed her fate. And there's a lot of those conundrums in the movie where it's like, if you're a good person, you're gonna pay for this.
Don't get in other people's business kind of vibes. And the thing about it is I think for me, which I wish there was more moments like this, was the scene when they actually use the light when she's at her house and like the power goes out like for the main the building, I guess, but then the lights that show like motion and movement for her house.
Yeah.
I thought that was really a cool scene. I wish there was a little bit more of that kind of scene. I definitely like when you can hear her making so much sound, but she obviously doesn't know the door is making that sound. I thought those were like pinnacle moments. You're like, oh my god, stop making sound. But like, you're like, they don't know. All they
Yeah.
care about is they're trying to get out of there. You know what I mean? And it's like, I thought it was a very smart move in the car when she was driving. So she wasn't your typical like damsel in distress type deal. She did have a little fight to them,
No, I
to
didn't
her.
think she was a damsel in
Yeah.
distress at
She
all.
looked adorable, but she kicked ass.
Yeah,
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 she was
exactly.
even talking shit to the bitch in the beginning when she was
Yeah.
like she was,
She
and this is
mollywopped this guy throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
exactly, and like, and this is my thing, and it's like I don't know why people underestimate someone who has a disability like this because yes, she can't hear, but she can see. Like I think being blind would probably be easier, but you see films like the one with Audrey Hepburn where she's alone in the
Yeah.
house and the serial killers come in to get her and she fucks them up too. Fuck you people. Just because you're
I,
having a disability does not mean you can't win. So there you
Yeah.
go.
well, it's
No.
funny because my dumb ass was like, she should just turn off all the lights and do it that way. Home, what is it? A home advantage. And then I was like, oh wait, she's not blind, she's deaf.
It's a little
But
different, Mikey.
I know. But Lance, also, you know why he gave him the address he gave him when he was like, your sister's here. Do you know why?
My so can fuck him.
Mm-mm. So he can go tell that girl's mother that he left her to go find the
Oh.
sister, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
the
yeah.
mom was.
Like
I thought that was fucked up.
another psychological fuck thing to do to somebody. Like, and that's what I kind of enjoyed about this movie. Like, again, folks, I'm telling you, it's not gory at all. It's if you just
It's
want to
not
like
good. In my opinion, it's a good movie.
yeah, no, and that's where we're really gonna break this down to is what did you guys think? Now that we're kind of getting close to the hour here.
Yeah, we're coming up to
Hated it.
that.
I'm just kidding. No, I really liked it. I thought it was the perfect cat and mouse chase. Um, it was suspenseful. It was not scary, but I liked that it played with your emotions and your, like in your mind, like all the examples I've been telling you about, to be like either what would I do or like that's fucked up, because that's what he does. He goes to the house and he's like, whose house is this? And then the
Yeah,
woman, she's like, where's my daughter? And he's like, uh. And then also at the end when she's like, I don't want to die. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I can't do all that if you kill me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
because she's
Definitely.
speaking in her broken voice, because obviously she doesn't talk much because she's deaf, which makes it even sadder. And I'm like,
Yeah.
he is so hot. And he was shirtless for a moment. And I was like, he could
No, I
murder
think he's hot on Squid Game. So I'm like, oh, I can't hate him. Oh my
Oh
God.
my
He
god.
reminded me of Genius from K-pop Demon Hunters, but
Of course
we're
he
not talking about
did.
that movie.
Hmm.
So,
Aiden?
I don't like, but you know what? My thing is I don't like cat and mouse movies, period. They
No.
frustrate me. I get annoyed. I get mad. I don't, that gives me anxiety. So I think that's why I don't like it. I'm not saying this is a bad movie. I think all of you should watch it. I'm currently streaming right now on Shudder, right?
Yeah.
Is it Shudder?
to be.
Tubi.
Cheddar and Tubi.
No, because Marshmallow was on Shudder. So
Yeah,
Mikey and Lance both
Oh.
picked M movies. I'm getting mixed up with the fucking names of these movies. But no, Midnight is on Tubi,
Oh, actually,
where you can pay for it.
it's actually on Amazon actually. At least
And
where I watch it with commercials
Amazon
and stuff.
Prime.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can watch it wherever. I think you should watch it. I think people should watch it. I think people enjoy it. I think
Yeah.
it's very reminiscent of a lot of South Korean films that we've watched. No gore. Frustrating. Did I like it more than the other ones we've seen? No. So,
This month, or you mean
um,
the previous?
other South Korean movies that we've seen. Did I like it better than Marshmallow? Probably.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sorry, Mike.
I was
should-
actually like, I wasn't texting during this movie. I wasn't bored. Like
Well,
Marshmallow, I
you
was like,
can. You have to read the subtitles. That's the
no, I speak
problem.
Korean.
Oh, okay. Well, excuse
I
me.
can sing Golden without even looking at the lyrics.
Mm,
Damn, look at you. Woo-woo.
I'm just kidding. But
Academy Award-winning,
Yeah,
Oscar
right?
nominated song here. All
Yeah,
right.
I thought this was a good movie. Like again, I'd probably give it 3 stars. There's obviously places it could be better. You know what I mean? And I wish they would have had more gore, like I always do. But I mean, in general, this is a good movie. Like if it came on again and like if somebody else wanted to watch it, I would sit there and watch it with them again. Now, would I do it myself? Probably not, just because one time is enough for this one, probably. But you know, I mean, I wouldn't hate watching it with somebody else. You know, just so they could see it.
well, I would like to see Alexandra Aha remake this movie for an American audience.
Oh,
Ooh,
that
that'd
would
be
be cool.
interesting.
Yeah,
All
because we just
right.
needed we to top it off. We would just need the brutality. Keep everything else, just add some brutality to it.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Make him a little bit more sadistic, physically sadistic outside
Yeah.
of his mental
Even if
sadisticness.
no one still dies, like fuck them up.
Yeah. Like almost to the brink of death.
Yeah.
To like, you know, like very close to, you know,
And
Saw
he'd
or
still be
whatever.
hot, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's one reason why I chose him. No, I chose him because I was thinking like if we just mix a little bit of high tension into this, minus that gross Leslie subplot.
The Lebanese subplot.
Oh my God.
My
All right, well, folks. That's it for this week's Slashers
The
podcast.
recoil of high tension.
Please exit the podcast in a calm and spooky fashion.
That was a
Wait to
spoiler.
see our faces and see how A treats us, like always. Watch the video cast at youtube.com/slashers podcast. Need more horror, nerd chaos in your life? Slice deeper with the Comic Chop. Our monthly deep dives with Joe from Much to Do About Nerding.
Well,
And
let's
me and
be
Mikey.
honest. Joe won't talk to us after he hears.
Yeah, I was like, Joe's
You two, not me. You two were like destroying the military. Good Lord.
it was the note that destroyed me, Lance. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh my God, here it goes.
goes.
The aftermath.
Speaking of that, join the cult at patreon.com /slashers pod for exclusive episodes, bonus content, and cursed perks. Rock your support at slasherspod.redbubble.com because nothing gets you laid faster than a slasher swagger. Boop, boop. Haunt us on Instagram. You can get Slashers Pod for the official page, Mutant Goons from Beyond for the gang. Scream at us directly, which, you know, let's be honest, after this one, there'll be a lot of military. We got Aid at Pathologically Aid. We got Mikey at Southern Fried Mikey. Me at Zombie VS Hate. A huge thanks to our Bloodbound Patreons. Josh Gunn. Dinosaurs will always be awesome. Lorraine Ellis. Kevin Leamy. Vladimir Lewis. Leslie Thurman. Cam Gale. Press eject, and Bruce Magnus. What did I say? Let's just see your face.
Vladimir.
Vladimir. Sorry, Vlad.
I like Vladimir better. That's fine. Change the spelling.
I
Change the
almost said
spelling.
it more like what's that
Very
vampire show?
Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh, we give him the shadows.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and remember, stay spooky, folks. Goodbye. Don't die, or in my case, die.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
Have fun, folks.
Well, that was successful.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very good outro. Good for you, Lance. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it took forever, but we got there.
It's okay. I usually cut out the spaces.
Reminds you of the military, man.
Boo. Oh my God.